Welcome, everybody, to the Hounds podcast. This is your home for field trialing and deer dog hunting. It'll be stories and discussions on the world of dog hunting. So let's drop the gate, cast your hounds, and get ready for another episode of the Hounds podcast. The Hounds podcast is proud to partner with Outdoor Dog Supply again for the 2025 season. Outdoor Dog Supply is the leader in online garment sales with their world-class trade-in programs. These guys are not just a business, they're also houndsmen and women too. They test their products out in the field and really put them to the test. Get the latest in garment equipment, stay locked and ready with field trial equipment, collars, leashes, and so much more. Visit their website today at outdoordogsupply.com, and we want to thank Outdoor Dog Supply for their support not only for the podcast, but in the field trials across the country. When you're looking for your next purchase and equipment, keep Outdoor Dog Supply in mind. Now let's get this episode started, guys. Thank y'all so much. Welcome, everybody, to the Hounds podcast. Going to try a couple different things here. I am just starting to feel better. As you can hear, compared to last week, I sound a whole lot better than what I did before. So finally we're getting back to feeling better. So that has delayed me on a guest, but I'm going to be working on getting some more guests on here for the next episode. Next couple episodes, what I'm actually planning. So y'all just kind of bear with me here while I'm getting over that. I would definitely record any other time, but when your voice and your throat gets tighter and swole every time you talk, you kind of have to do what you got to do. But one of the things I wanted to try here, we're going to start something a little new here at the beginning of each episode. We're going to start off each episode by doing a inspirational quote followed by a Bible verse. I'm sure you've listened to the episodes. I'm not exactly the cleanest mouth in the world, but I know we all aren't, but I feel like most everybody that in the hound hunting community are good, God-fearing men and women, and I don't know. It's been weighing on me here lately, and I felt like it was something I should do. And plus, I love, man, maybe I'm weird, but I love a good quote, something to live by. And maybe one of these will stick out to you. So we're going to start off this week. I heard this one. I wrote it down somewhere, and I don't even remember where I heard it. But the quote that I got for this week is, "If you don't believe in yourself, then you will never believe in somebody believing in you." And that quote is by Joyner Lucas. That one, I really like that one. I feel like anybody that's looking for that belief, that ought to speak to you pretty good. And this week's verse is out of Deuteronomy 6:5. "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your might." So with that, let's move on into the episode. We did the auction and the draw for the 2-day derby this past weekend that we have coming up at Pools. It turned out great. I hope everybody enjoyed it. That was something that me and Peyton have been talking about. I thought it'd be kind of cool, kind of fun, and we decided to, give it a shot. I know most auctions are done in person, but with it being a Friday, Saturday hunt, it would have made everybody get there on Thursday and Thursday early. At least with this way doing it, you didn't have to take an extra day off. It's something where you could get on the Facebook page and get to it and have fun with it, man. It was fun watching them go, people bidding back and forth. We ended up getting about $4,100 is what it ended up being by the end of it. So again, that will all go back to you, the hunters. That's all going to be right back into the hunt. So I hope everybody enjoyed that part of it. There was several different people that were able to lock in on some good auction numbers, and then we did the draw. That was about an hour and a half long. We did it about 7 o'clock that night. That's about when we got started. There was people coming in and out all the time, some good conversations in the chat, even though I couldn't get everybody to keep talking. But, we made fun with it, and, I felt like that was as fair as you could possibly get. We could have shuffled the numbers maybe on the wheel that we used, but for the most part, I feel like that generated a pretty good randomness of everybody's number. Some people got lucky, some people didn't. But, we went through on those draw numbers, and, Peyton did a great job of picking a lot of the really good numbers. So I don't think anybody was left with a really crappy number, but, to each their own. I don't like 4, so there was a lot of 4s in there, and I would have been like, crap, let me trade that for something different. But, everybody's different on their numbers, so I hope that everybody enjoyed it. I hope everybody thought it was good. I thought it was fair. There are some more numbers available if anybody would like to get in. Not very many, but if you were thinking about it and looking into it and get up with Peyton, I think there might be a handful left. We had some turned in after the draw was over. So y'all get with Peyton, and if you need some more or want to get in on this hunt, I promise you it's going to be a good one. But enough about the hunt. We talked about that last week. Me and Peyton are going to sit down and record probably the weekend before or the week before, maybe 2 weeks before the hunt, and kind of give a good overview what's to be expected, what we have planned for it, all that kind of good stuff. So I hope everybody will tune in for that, and everybody that's coming is going to have a good time. So on this episode, I want to sit down and talk with y'all, and it is just me, so forgive me here. But we haven't talked about the deer doggers in a while. Let's talk about some deer dogging. And one thing I did see that stand out on Facebook, a man named Jason Anders made a comment on the Arkansas Dog Hunter Association Facebook page. He made a statement about getting involved with the fight to keep our sport alive and well, about how it was taken from them over in Arkansas and how his kids and grandkids will never get to hear the beautiful sound of the hounds. He wanted to encourage everyone to take a second and think about what dropping that tailgate means to you and really evaluate what you're putting back into the sport. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but just food for thought. It was something I seen. I liked it. I liked the way he put it into words. And I felt like it should be noted on here. So I hope everybody kind of takes that to heart a little bit. But, what I want to really get into today was raising a set of deer pups. I feel like that's the most common question that I get, and I don't know that we full on attack that on here yet. Maybe we have. Maybe we've talked to some different people about some different ways. But, what I wanted to do is kind of go over the way that I do it, the way that that works for me in the area that I'm at, the style of deer dog hunting that I like doing. And there's no foolproof way to do it. There's millions of ways. Well, I say millions. There's dozens and dozens of ways to do it. Everybody will figure out their own way to do it. But this is for guys that maybe haven't quite found that rhythm. Maybe haven't quite done it yet. Something, whatever their question is. Maybe they just need that extra little bit. So I hope this helps somebody. Plus, it's a cool conversation piece in my opinion. So. We'll start off with the breeding. First is breeding. And a phrase that's I've always stuck to and believed in is if you breed a mediocre dog to a mediocre dog, you're going to produce 9 times out of 10 a mediocre dog. Don't just breed it because you have it. Don't just breed it because your buddy has a dog and he said you could do it. You will hate yourself. You will hate it. You will hate the sport. You will hate the dogs. You'll hate everything about it. You'll get frustrated and you'll quit. Make sure take the time. Make sure you take the time to really focus on this part. If this is not the most important part about it, I don't know what else is. You really got it. There's a lot here, so I'm just going to kind of go in the order that I had it typed out, as in my notes. There's a phrase that gets tossed around about breeding the right dog and put your ego aside. Don't let your ego and, how do I say this? Don't be so prideful about wanting to breed in-house or breeding to somebody else's dog because it's somebody else's dog. They may give you crap about it down the road, but if you got a guy down the road that has a stand-up deer dog that every time y'all go hunt in your club, that dog is first in the cross and that dog is jumping the game, that dog is doing everything that he needs to do. If you have that available to go breed to, why wouldn't you do it? You know, trust me, I get it. I get prideful sometimes, and I want to breed in house. But I'm also, if I'm struggling and I need puppies and something's coming up that I can do, you know, go for it. You know, maybe you got a buddy down the road, or maybe you got a guy down the road that had a litter, and maybe he doesn't want all of them. You know, there's different kinds of situations, but look for those situations. You know. But make sure it's out of something that you know is going to do well. Trust your instincts. If you've been hunting for a while, if you really sit down and think about it, you know, don't just say, man, that's, you know, you see one chase and the dog's leading the cross and like, oh man, that's the dog right there. Really sit down and think about it, man. You know, find something that's consistent, can do it, can do what you need. Like in my area, you don't need a dog that's going to just run 1,005 miles an hour. You know, you need something that's going to break down, hunt the woods, hold a track, and not let it get, you know, not let the twists and turns and the creaks and the cutover stump them. You need something that's got a really good nose. It may not run 1,005 miles an hour, but he's going to hold on to that track like he's supposed to. So that's what I kind of look for, is a really tracky dog that can hunt trail, give that old school trail, and can get that. I love a cold nose. That's why I like tree stock dogs, you know, them coon stock dogs for my deer dogs. But, you know, you got to find something that does the type of hunting that you want to do or that works good for your area. You know, go find something that is either producing that, or, you know, find dogs that are that, and try to get find a way to get puppies off of that cross. Not easy, but, and maybe you have to take the gamble. Maybe you have a female that's okay, but then you can go and take it to a stud that is a jam up deer dog. You know, that's worth taking the gamble on. But if you take just because your buddy's got it and you got two dogs and they've had a few deer killed in front of them, just expect that mediocrity if that's what you're about. But if you're new to the sport, here's my biggest piece of advice. You know, maybe you went this past hunting season and you had a great time. Maybe you got to go and kill a deer in front of the dogs. My advice is don't jump right into it. Dog hunt for a few years. You know, I obviously, you know, you don't need to wait around for 5-10 years to do it, but make sure that you're going to actually stay invested. You know, these dogs are not just a video game or a four-wheeler or a bicycle, whatever. You know, they're not something that you can say, oh man, that looks fun, I can't wait to do that again. And then when you get overwhelmed or tired or you get so busy, you just toss it to the side. No, these things are a daily task that you got to work on, man. You got to train them. You got to care for them. You know, you got to make sure that this isn't just a in this moment high that you want deer dogs. Make sure that this is something that you're going to take the time. Make sure that you're ready to pay your hunting dues. Make sure you're ready to go to those cleanup days, to those meetings. You're ready to train, to feed in the rain, feed in the snow, feed in the blistering hot sun. You know, care for them, all the medications, all the shots, rabies, all that good stuff. You know, there's a lot of aspects that go into it. Make sure that you are ready for it. And then another thing too, to watch out if you're getting into this, you know, you got to watch out for your shady guys. There's going to be a lot of guys that are going to post dogs or brag about dogs and show you, man, this dog's a bona fide jam up deer dog. They can do it all. And really the only thing is it's just fried. It's a terrible dog. He's just had a good day every now and then. If you stick in it a couple of years and really watch, you know, go 2 or 3 years and really become involved, hunt over other people's dogs, under however you want to say it, you know, ride with some people, see what dogs are producing or performing in your area in the way that you want to hunt, and you'll see. Then talk to these guys that own the dogs. See if maybe, hey, Are you going to breed that dog anytime soon? Are you going to breed these dogs anytime soon? Well, where did you get these dogs? Is there a way that I can find a way to get to those kind of dogs? Talk to those people. Do some digging before you just jump right in and just start throwing puppies on the ground and raising them up. So, next step is, you decided and you're good, you're ready, you found your cross, you've gone through all that stuff. Now, the next most important part, raising them right. That first six to 8 weeks, that first 2 months, 3 months, that's probably the most important. Worms, worming, medications, plenty of lot space. Don't cheap out on feed. Don't cheap out on anything. If you started off right, you're going to finish right. Okay? Don't go cheap. Don't skip out on things because it's hard or it takes a little extra effort. This is where you have to buckle down and really push. So that first 8 weeks, first 12 weeks, you got to medicate, got to worm on the regular, got to worm on a cycle. Make sure the mama's healthy in those first 5-6 weeks. That's huge. Really, really pay attention to them and watch your dogs. So let's jump ahead to that 4-month-old range. This is something, those past two things, those are something you should do across the board. That should be a 100% what you do no matter what. I don't care what area you're in, what kind of dog you're doing, what blah, blah, blah. Don't matter. That's 100% what you should be doing. The Hounds podcast would like to take a minute and talk about our friends over at Cajun Lights. When pleasure running at night or judging those nighttime field trials, you can put your trust in Cajun Lights. With the economical Cajun Bayou for the every now and then light user, the Cajun Micro for the nighttime feeds and around the house times, then the top level Cajun Blinder for those hardcore crossing getters at night. The Cajun Lights are headlamp style light that free up your hands for voice recorders or your GPS. They offer flood style lights in red, amber, and a white walking light. Then the top of the line 4-level main beam light. If you're having a hard time catching crossings at night, give the Cajun Light a try. And the red and amber setting to catch the game without distracting them, and with the easy flick of a switch, go back to your main beam light to catch your hounds in action and get those numbers. Visit their website today at CajunLights.com, and at the checkout, make sure you fill out the survey after your purchase and select Hounds Podcast to receive 5% off your next purchase with Cajun Lights. Now, let's get back to the episode. So let's jump ahead to say about the 4 month, 5 months, somewhere around in that range. And I promise you, that 4 to 5 months, especially if it's your first pack, it is going to crawl. And I mean crawl. You're going to be so like, man, I'm ready to get these dogs on the ground. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to make them run, blah, 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 blah. Be patient. Make sure they are ready before you start putting them in the woods, start doing all this stuff. Don't let them hurt themselves. But you get to that 4 month, 5 month old range, got some legs under them, starting to get some size on them. This is the time. Put them in the dog box. Ride them around. Let them get used to riding around. Put the training collars on them. Put your tracking collars on them. Teach them what a beep is. Teach them what correction is. Do it in a confined space to where they understand, hey, if you, and that's a whole ordeal. That's a whole nother podcast. But, teach them what correction is. This is the point of life where you put a lot of influence on your dogs. What I like to do, and this is me, at that age, I take them out in the woods. I take them, put them in the dog box, drive to our hunting area, and I work with them. 4 months old, 5 months old, you don't want them necessarily, if you got a taller truck, don't make them jump out the box. Don't make them hurt their ankles, break their ankles, make their ankles swell up, that kind of thing. Maybe avoid that part. When they get big enough, then work on jumping them out. But for right now, get them to your hunting land, get them out, put them straight in the woods. I do not walk down the woods. I'm a hiker. Like when I say that, I mean I hike my dogs. I don't just cast and point and go. I'm not a point and click kind of person. I'm a hike with them, walk with them, keep them in the directions I want to keep them going. So if you're doing that, teach them those commands. Everybody that hikes dogs got certain commands, got certain hollers, certain way that you talk to the dogs, and that keeps them close, keeps them going in the right direction. But also, they know, like, oh man, he's making that noise. It's time to freaking hunt. Let's go, boys. So they get excited. They get to doing. They learn that. They learn it. This is the time to teach them that. This is the time to say, okay, I'll walk with them in there, and then as they get bigger, I'll let them venture away. Then when they venture out of sight, and I want to bring them back, I'll start making my hike commands, and I'll walk, and I'll hike, and they'll pull back to me. That's how I teach them. Okay, this command means stick with me here. That's how I work them. And that's how I like my dogs being within 100 yards of me in any direction if I can control it. This keeps them saying, okay, maybe they got on a backtrack. Maybe they hit a section and they're not really doing nothing. Maybe I'm seeing something or maybe I spooked a deer up and I want them to come to me. This is how I teach them, say, hey, this is where you need to be going. So take that time if you walk, and teach that. And don't just mindlessly walk through the woods. Go to creeks. Make them cross the water. Teach them that, hey, it's not going to kill you. Go across it. Find down logs, down trees. Make them jump over them. Make them crawl under them. Find briars, thickets. Push them through it. Walk through it. Get your big boy britches on and put some briar pants on, whatever you got to do. Walk through that sucker. If they see you doing it, they're going to say, okay, he can do it, I can do it. They're going to see these obstacles, barbed wire fences. If you got somewhere where you got to go through a barbed wire fence, teach them what a barbed wire fence is. Teach them, crawl up under it. Go. Do what you got to do. When you teach them and show them that these obstacles are safe, that they can do it, it builds their confidence. That way, when they do get to running and get to hunting, these obstacles are just second nature to them. When a deer crosses a creek, the dog's coming in behind it. It's not going to sit at the creek and say, oh, crap, what do I do now? What do I do now? Oh, crap, And I'll get into that later with some dogs of mine. But, another thing I do is don't walk the roads. Don't walk beaten paths. If you come up on a four-wheeler track, cross that sucker. If you come up on another road in your hunting land, jump straight across it. Don't ever teach them that it's okay to run the roads. A lot of dogs, when they get to a big open road, the first thing they kind of lose their mind. I don't know why dogs do that, but a dog that's not trained will get to a road and lose their mind if they're not on a hot track. I don't know what the thought process is behind it. But if you teach them just, hey, get the heck across the road, a lot of times what I do when I get to those situations is I get to the road and I haul the mail. I run across and I get them and I encourage them, come on, let's go. And this includes blacktops. Maybe when you get to a blacktop, you kind of watch out for cars, that gets a little tricky. You got to play with that and be safe with that, try to do that in the safest manner, figure out what you're comfortable with. But, just teach them that no matter what the road is, get across. And anything that you can think of that while you're out there, if you see something that says, man, that I could see that being a situation that would kind of make them think for a second, do it. Now's the time to help them. Now's the time to learn. They're absorbing so much in this time period. So I'll do this for a few months until they get big enough, maybe once a week, maybe once, maybe twice, if you get lucky, get them out there, just get them out there. Plus that makes them easy to handle too. So I'll do that kind of stuff for, 2-3 months till they start really getting their legs up under them, starting getting bigger and getting to that closer to adulthood size where they can run, where they can stretch, where they're going to build the muscle. This is where it gets tricky. The best way, I mean, this is, to me, it's the best way. This is the way I've always been blessed and lucky enough to do, is if you have an older deer dog that they can follow. Maybe you got a buddy that's got an older deer dog, maybe a deer beagle, even better, that's going to teach them in a slower pace. That's not just getting out there and hunting real fast, and then when they jump, the dogs, if they fumbled for a second or puppied for a few minutes, is like I like to call it, and got to playing and got distracted, got to doing different things, maybe that deer, the older dog jumps and takes off, If it's a slow, older dog or a beagle or something like that, it's easier for them puppies to say, hey, maybe I'm supposed to be following him. Maybe I'll go with him. And the more they watch, they learn. They learn off of that old dog. So maybe you don't have that option. What I've done, put them on the ground. Instincts will take over. If you bred right, and if you're working with them, be patient, but it will take time. But their instincts will take over. Just keep putting them on the ground. Keep putting them on the ground. Find you a fresh, hot track. Go out early in the morning. Go find you a fresh deer track. Go find you a deer that you see standing in the field. Maybe you got some hunt land with some fields. Go find them. You find that hot track. You see a deer. Make sure they see it. What I'll do, I'll drop the box. I'll run towards them, and I'll go, I'll act like I'm a daggone dog. It sounds crazy, but it works. But just keep doing that kind of stuff, man. It's patience is key. Not all dogs take to it right away. Some takes weeks. Some takes months. Some takes years. A comparison. My Vader dog. I know y'all have heard me talk about him. When him and his litter, when I got them started, I dedicated to them. I did just like I told you. I did everything like that. The first season, they were born in April. So they were 6 months, 7 months when it comes to hunting season. And the whole season, I just kept feeding them tracks, feeding them with dogs that experienced dogs, putting them in the woods. By the end of the last day of the season, they were running a deer by themselves. They were jumping and running deer by themselves. Very, very blessed with that litter. That was a freak litter that I don't know if I'll ever be able to duplicate. Now, my pups that I'm working now off of Vader, I didn't give them the time that they deserved as they were growing up. I made a mistake. I didn't dedicate to them and didn't give them the time. I got busy. I had too much going on. It's my mistake. So it's not there. So I'm having to find my patience. They will be 2 in June or July, something like that. And they are still struggling to jump and run their own game. They will run if another dog gets it going. They will run with dogs. But as far as doing it by themselves, I cannot put them out there by themselves yet and say that they're going to run, jump, do all that by themselves. Unless they just happen to stumble upon one. They still have a lot of puppy in them. And that's my fault. But I'm having to find a patience with these dogs and say, okay, I'm seeing things. I see it. You have it in your blood on both sides. I know you can do it. I didn't do my job. So I have to be patient and let you learn your job. And deer dogs are not like field trial dogs. Field trial dogs and field trial people are pushing field trial dogs so hard. By 12, 13, 14 months old sometimes, maybe even a little bit later, by that point if that dog's going to be worth keeping around. Sometimes these deer dogs take 2 or 3 years to get going. I mean, my dad had a set of dogs. He had a pair of dogs. The first 2 seasons, they were garbage. Third season, they clicked. Some of the best dogs he's owned. Why? Don't know. It just took him that long. And it wasn't that he did anything different. I mean, he turned them loose every weekend pretty much. But it just took them that long to become dogs. So sometimes these deer dogs just take a little while to hone their skills in. I think it's a lot more difficult for a deer dog to learn. And some people will disagree. But some people say that they can run a stinking deer. Any dog can run a stinking deer. I highly disagree with that. Running it and running it is 2 different things. So just be patient. We're going to take a quick second and pause this episode and talk about our partners over at Elite Nutrition. Our hounds, they're athletes, guys. They give us their all each and every time that they're casted. Elite Nutrition offers an all-natural products to give your dogs the natural benefits they deserve. From the canine remove and all-natural wormer to the Electro Boost paste for an electrolyte replenishment, body fluid balance, and blood flow improvement. They also have products like Active Dog Powder for recovery and joint muscle support, Essential Dog Powder for daily vitamins and minerals, probiotics, prebiotics, and enzymes, and then the Canine Lactate Powder for nursing dogs to help with milk supply. There are tons of other products for y'all to check out at CajunLights.com. Then click on the Elite Nutrition section to explore. When you go check out, only at CajunLights.com, use the code HTElite10 to receive 10% off your Elite Nutrition products. Again, that's HTELITE, the number 10, to receive 10% off Elite Nutrition products only via CajunLights.com. I've been using their products over the past couple months, and I could not be happier with the results. See for yourself today, and we want to thank Elite Nutrition for taking a step forward into this field trial sport. Now, let's get back to the episode, guys. Learn your patience, but also be aware they're not showing any interest, guys. Don't waste your time. Don't get stuck in the mentality of, oh, this is my first pack. I don't want to cull these dogs. If they're garbage, they're freaking garbage. Just get rid of them. You know, find somebody that maybe wants a project. Maybe find somebody that wants a house dog or a yard dog. Find somebody that maybe will suit them better. You know, sometimes you have dogs. Maybe you have a 4-dog litter, 5-dog litter, and 4 of the dogs are starting to do good. They're doing great. They're showing you everything they need to show, and that 5th dog is falling behind, not doing as much. If you put that dog in a different environment, get him away from his brothers and sisters that are outshining him, sometimes that's what it takes to make that dog click. So keep that in mind, but you got to find your balance of not culling too soon, but also not waiting until it's too late. So, you know, just kind of keep that in mind. But the biggest thing that I'm going to leave y'all with on this topic, and we have a lot to talk about in the next couple sections, biggest thing is feed the dog tracks. Once they get to going, once you're working with them, stay patient. Feed the dogs tracks. They're not going to learn anything sitting in a box or a dog lot. If you're going to be that person that runs them once or twice or none during the off season, don't even start them up. Don't even waste your time. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to the dogs. But if you put in the effort, you take the time, you do it right, you raise them for birth, you fall in love with these dogs, they're doing everything you can ask, and you finally get to kill one in front of them. They finally get a kill in front of them. My Vader group, man, I had multiple people get their first kill, maybe it was their first buck, in front of those dogs. I'll never forget the first time I killed a deer in front of those dogs my own self. Man, I'm telling you, it will light your world up. It is the most rewarding feeling in the world if you put the time in, put the patience in, put the effort in, and get that happening. So I hope maybe that spoke to somebody. I hope maybe that some people found that is what they needed to hear. And I had to give a little love for the deer dog guys out there this week. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and move into, there's a lot of hunts this past weekend, so we're going to move into the Spotlight presented by Cajun Lights. All right, here we go. It's now time for the Spotlight presented by Cajun Lights. This is where each week we will recognize winners and other accomplishments across the field trial world. Now let's shine a light on these guys and these dogs, and let's get to this week's winners. All right, first up on the list, the Ohio State FHA happened in Ottawa. I think that's how you say it. Maybe Ottawa. I don't know how you say it. It's in Ohio. So we're going to start off with the Derby class. That was an outside hunt, of course. The combination winner was Mountain Dew's Ann H. And that dog is out of Mountain Dew's Samson and Hunter's Pretty Girl from Huntley Wright. The dog was first speed, first endurance, and third HGA. And the winner of the Derby class was Mountain Dew's Slingshot. The dog is out of Mountain Dew's Hot Shot and Mountain Dew's Smut from Mountain Dew Kennels. The dog was first hunting, first trailing, 7th speed, and 2nd endurance, first HGA. Congratulations on your Derby win, Mountain Dew Kennels. Moving on to the all age, the dual, and I did miss the, the bench show, and I don't think they did Classy Mouth and Classiest Hound and Best Mouth, but so the dual champion was Champion Jackson's Diamond. That dog was out of Champion Jackson's Geronimo and Jackson's Crybaby from Screamin' Demon Kennels. He was 5th hunting, 2nd speed, 2nd endurance, and 3rd HGA. And your field champion, hound's name is DNS Patch from DNS Wyatt Earp and DNS Goldie from Detweiler and Son Kennels. The dog was first hunting, second trailing, first speed, first endurance, first HGA. Almost swept it. Congratulations on your new field champion, DNS Kennels. Let's move into the Old Tram 2-Day Derby Classic. The best mouth was, Dirt Black Jack. That dog is out of Killing Time Streak. And Pinelands Redhead from Dirt Dollar Kennels. The dog was also 8th GTP. The classiest hound was Break 'em Down Cheyenne. The dog was out of B&B's Chrome and McDowell's Faith from Break 'em Down Kennels. That dog was also 10th GTP. Your combination winner, and I'm going to say something. I swear I am a good luck charm for people to go to a hunt after they come on this podcast. Mr. Joey Fowler ended up with the combination win down there and placed a bunch of dogs. So that dog was Fowler's Pickle Piper HL for a High Life. The dog was also out of B&B's Chrome, and Fowler's Foxy Lady HL from High Life Kennels. The dog was 2nd GTP. And the winner of the Derby Classic was Oh My, was the dog's name. It was out of King's Two Stroke, and I'm going to murder this. Du Bois's Lotto from Spoonfed Incorporated. That dog scored 2,110 GTP points. That is spanking on a 2-day. So congratulations to y'all on everybody that placed and won. Let's move on to the Hunter's Horn Spring Classic Derby Masters at Sell Horns. This is the only one that I saw the bench show results on, so y'all forgive me. The breast opposite sex was Croton's Birdie out of Crystal Coast Coalition, and the best in show was a dog named Wrangler from Davis and Brody Register. The best mouth was Chaos Reaper out of Old Church Swaggerby and Old Church Donnaby from Chaos Kennels. Dog was also 7th GTP. Classiest hound was J&R Rouse's Martin, and that dog was out of Crisco Sundown and ECC Star, and that's from Jeremy and Reagan Rouse. The dog was also 10th GTP. The combination winner was BB Gap Sauce. And that dog's out of Champion Ray's George and Champion B&B's Lily. The hound is out of Landslide Kennels, and that dog was also 4th GTP. And the winner of the hunt was Cataract Farms Myra out of Bedrock Spartacus and Smokin' Aces Hideous. Poor dog. From Crystal Coast Coalition. Dog scored 1,458 GTP. The Pontotoc County FHA at the Lucky Bucket Fox Pen was also this weekend. Your classiest hound was Hertz Golden Girl Blanche and that was the classiest hound. The dog's out of Big Creek Sam and Penashock Creek Rita from Hurt Kennels. The dog was also 3rd GTP. And your dual champion was Champion Sullivan's Willow out of Pinedale Stump B and Slady Bank Blondie from SOS Kennels. The champion was also your best mouth, and that dog was out. That dog's name is CNL Tango from Mountaintop Shovel and River City Coco from P-Town Mafia. So congratulations to y'all on everybody that placed and the dual and new champion out of that hunt. Last hunt on the books is the Tar River Classic at Tar River. The Derby side, starting with the combination winner, was B&B's Regulator out of Champion B&B's Loot and Champion B&B's Camaro from B&B Kennels. And the winner of the Derby class was Shelton's Xena C. That dog is out of Shelton's Dirty Dan and Shelton's Little Bit from High Pressure Kennels. Congratulations there Old buddy, old Alan Shelton down there. Congratulations, bud. Old chicken. Let's move on to the all age, the best mouth. That dog's name is Fastlane's Rose, and that dog's out of Raise Ace, and let me see, and SNL's Pretty Girl from Fastlane Kennels. The dog was third speed and third endurance and third GTP, and this was a Nationals GTP hunt. Let's see, the Classy Hound was Yard Pack Beulah. I believe that's how that's wrote, or maybe I misspelled it. That dog's out of Davis's Audi and Yard Pack Vegas from Yard Pack Kennels. And the field and dual champion was Humphreys Melinda out of T. Jesse's Wizard and Humphreys Hannah. The dog was first speed and first endurance and first GTP. So congratulations to everybody down there. Mr. William Humphrey, congratulations on your new field and dual champion. I think I might have seen a little bit of a smile if I saw that right. Maybe I didn't. I doubt it. But congratulations again, brother. So next up, we're going to move into a short and sweet section of Around the How, presented by Elite Nutrition. All right, here we go. All right, y'all, now it's time for Around the How, presented by Elite Nutrition. Just make sure you check out their products, Elite Nutrition products, at CajunLights.com. And for 10% off of Elite Nutrition products, when you use the code HTE, LITE, and the number 10. That's HT Elite 10 at checkout. All right, let's get it rocking. All right, we're going to start off with a big one, and I should have probably noted this one a while back. The Special Olympics Benefit Field Trial is this weekend in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. It's on the outside field trial to help raise money for the Special Olympics, Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, Children Today, Leaders Tomorrow organization, the Colin Snap Winslow Memorial Fund, and the Ethan Cottentop Jordan Memorial Fund. There are numbers still available for this hunt. If you're interested, please contact Chase Higginbotham at 757-408-2295 to get you a number, or even if you're just wanting to become involved in this hunt. They were going to have a big auction and raffle down there. Hopefully they're going to make a big lick and get to all these great organizations and charities. So shout out to everybody that's involved in putting that one on, and hopefully I can get all my ducks in a row and start becoming involved in some of these hunts. But also next up, I was hit up and asked to speak on this. The Jennings Ordinary Hunt Club is having a hunt at pools this weekend. They're being raffling off a Alpha XL, and the book is still open if anybody's looking for a last minute place to get to running a hunt this weekend. That's going to be a good one. They usually do put on a good show. I have actually been to that hunt, and they do a great job with that hunt. So if anybody's looking for a last minute hunt to get to, that's the one. And last but not least, last and least actually, last week I mentioned that the Virginia DWR is having a meeting, and they were going to be approached by a couple of different hunting organizations to add in a training season and an extra hound hunting days for kids and military, both of which were shot down. So no good news on that front. But I'm going to try to get a little more information on what all happened. I've been pretty busy here lately, and I kind of got slacked on that. So hopefully I can do my part and get a little more involved with that. But the Hounds podcast is happy to announce our newest partnership with Low 10 Outfitters. If your kennel is looking for new apparel to rock to the next field trial, look no further than Low 10 Outfitters. They offer shirts, hats, hoodies, coats, and other accessories with custom logos for your kennel or your hound to go on. With top quality merchandise and long-lasting quality, you can't go wrong with Low 10 Outfitters. And very soon we will be offering Houndstail podcast apparel on their website at low10outfitters.com. So be on the lookout for that coming up here soon. Thank you, Low 10 Outfitters, for teaming up with the Houndstails podcast. And don't forget, guys, low10outfitters.com to get your apparel for your kennels. Now, let's get you back to your episode. That's all I got for this week, guys. I hope everybody joined listening. We're going to try to get back to some guest episodes next week, so it's not just me babbling on. And we're trying to make something happen, guys. So everybody out there that's listening, I hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope y'all are having a good off season in the deer woods, and I hope everybody's field trial season starting up on the right foot. So everybody, thank y'all so much. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it to your friends, tell everybody, tell the world, tell your mother, tell your brother, tell you whatever. Anyway, all right, guys, thank y'all so much, and like always, guys, happy hunting.